Hello, everybody. We are going to try this again. We'll call this season 2 or maybe season 12. I don't know of our drawing through the Bible. And we are on Psalm 77 today. We were doing about 2 Psalms out of every 10 or so. And I think I'm going to pick up the pace and just do 1 in every section. So we're jumping and doing Psalm 77. Psalm 77. I'm going to say a little bit about who wrote it, and then I'm going to read it all the way through like we do, so you can listen to it. I guess listen with your ears. You don't listen with your hair. You're going to listen to it. You can draw if you want, but the first reading, we're getting a sense of what is the beginning and middle and end of the psalm like. Is it a happy psalm? Is it a sad psalm? Is it an angry eyebrows psalm? Is it a afraid psalm? There's a lot. Some of the psalms have more than, like 2 or 3 or 4 different feelings in it, right? So you can get a sense of what does it sound like? What does it feel like? All right, so let me get the sharing going on. Okay, there's my colors, there's my pencil, here it is. Okay, we're looking at Psalm 77. And if you're looking at it in your Bible, you'll notice that, let me get this thing. There. If you're looking at it in your Bible, you'll notice that at the top of it, it has some of those words, right? For the chief musician, after the manner of Jeduthun. And I think that would mean that's some style of song or style of music, okay? So it's that style. But this is a psalm of Asaph. And Asaph is somebody in the Bible who wrote a bunch of psalms. And the only thing I've been able to find out about Asaph is when I read through his psalms, what is he like? And one thing that I have found out is he is a lot of person. So I'm going to draw him here, right? And so here he is, and he's standing. But he has a whole lot of mouth and a whole lot of eyes and a whole lot of hand, okay? Now, I drew the mouth so that it looks kind of happy. I drew, there's his feet. I'm going to draw that he's going all over the place. But if he's not happy, he's a whole lot of unhappy. Does that make sense? That's one of the things I've noticed about Asaph. He is a whole lot of Asaph. And so as we read through, he's going to be waving his arms, right? Because he's excited. And you need to figure out, is he excited? I'm going to put the shaky lines next to his body so you can see he's dancing and shaking. You have to figure out, is he excited, sad, angry, or is he excited joyfully? Okay. So now we're going to read the whole psalm. It's 20 verses. It's not super long, but it's one of the longer ones that we've done. All right. So let's listen in. If you got your Bibles, turn to Psalm 77. Otherwise, you can read along with me. I will cry unto God with my voice, even unto God with my voice, and he will give ear unto me. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night and slacked not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remember God, and I am disquieted. I complain, and my spirit is overwhelmed. Thou holdest mine eyes watching. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit made diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? And will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Does his promise fail forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? And I said, this is my infirmity. But I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will make mention of the deeds of the Lord, for I will remember thy wonders of old. I will meditate also upon all thy work and muse on thy doings. Thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is a great God like unto God? Thou art the God that does wonders. Thou hast made known thy strength among the peoples. Thou hast with thine arm redeemed thy people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. The waters saw thee, O God. The waters saw thee and were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The skies sent out a sound. Your arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lightened the world. The earth trembled and shook. Thy way was in the sea, and thy paths in the great waters, and thy footsteps were not known. Thou leddest thy people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. Okay. Now, you guys here at the table, or if somebody out there wants to say something about this psalm, is it Asaph with the excited happy face or the scared face, or is it even both? What do you think? Jack, what do you think?
I think, I'm not sure.
Okay, you keep thinking about it, Jack. What do you think, Alice?
I think it's more thankful and scared instead of happy and scared.
Okay, thankful and scared. That's a neat combination. I'm gonna write that up.
Because he's like thanking God for saving him and then also questioning.
Okay,
And scared.
thankful, scared, and there's questions.
Yeah, questioning.
Did it begin thankful or did it begin scared?
Thankful.
You think it began thankful? I think it began scared and then went into thankful. That's what I think it went into.
Well, if you see the first part, I mean, like the first verse, it's thankful, and then it gets into scared and then gets into scared and question. And
okay,
then
I see what
thankful.
you're saying. He does talk a little bit in the beginning verses about I'm going to cry and God's going to hear me. So maybe he's thankful about that. Yeah. Does anybody else want to say something about the psalm? Any thoughts, Thomas? Okay. I think that most of this psalm is Asaph stressed out. I'm going to draw him like this. That's what I think Asaph is like. All right, and then you know his name is Asaph. You know that this is a picture of Asaph because he's wearing his name on his shirt. Now you guys can't read that. I'll make it bigger. That way, in case you want to write his name, it's Asaph, like that. Can you read that? Yeah, you guys can pretty much read that. I think he's pretty stressed out in this psalm. And in his psalms, when he is stressed out, he is like really stressed out. Like, oh my goodness, it's going to be terrible. And what are we going to do? And then if he writes a psalm because things won't happen good, he goes, wow, it's awesome again. And you get a little bit of that at the end of the psalm. Some of my favorite psalms in all of the book of Psalms are the ones that Asaph wrote. And they start in Psalm number 73, and I think they go all the way through number 83. I think he did all of those 11. And they are just so neat. And some of them are just full of crazy feelings. And sometimes we're full of crazy feelings. Well, let's go through it, and we will try to figure out what he is trying to say. All right, the first 3 verses I will cry unto God with my voice, even to God with my voice, and he will give ear to me. And so we have Asaph. I'm going to draw him like that. And he's crying up to God. And you use the word cry. It could just mean call out, but I think he's upset, right? So I'm going to put little scared eyebrows on him. He's crying out to God. And does he expect God will hear him and listen to him? I think so. Yeah. He will give ear to me. So God is going to give ear. I'm going to draw it silly. Like, here's an ear that you can listen to. That's not, of course, that's not what God does, right? When it says give ear, it means God is going to listen, but I just drew it funny. God is going to listen in the day of my, well, underline this with red. We can see the things, right? In his trouble, he sought the Lord. My hand stretched out in the night. He's stretching out his hand. Super long arm. And slacked not. He kept stretching up to God. My soul refused to be comforted. Have you ever felt so upset that you could not calm down? I know I have. I know my children have. I'm a dad and I go, you need to calm down. But I can't calm down. I'm too upset. This hurts. I'm upset. I'm scared. Calm down. No, I cannot do it.
I've been angry and I still wanted to be angry, but I kept on calming down and then I still wanted to be angry, but then I felt like I had to calm down.
Yeah, that feeling like I'm trying to calm down. I'm trying to not be angry.
And then you're trying to be angry.
And that's a hard time, right? And Asaph is feeling that. My soul refused to be comforted. I don't think that means he was being a bad guy. He's just saying it was so hard. I remember God and I am disquieted. Do you know what disquieted means? Think about it as two words. This is an old-fashioned word. Do you know what it means to be quieted? What does it mean to be quieted?
Quiet.
Ah! That's quieted, but if it's disquieted, what do you think happened? It's loud again. I remember God and I am loud. Does this look loud when he's crying up to God? I complain and my spirit is overwhelmed. Is he complaining to God?
Yeah.
I think so. Now, here is the thing. When he's complaining to God, we don't know exactly what he's saying. I don't think he's saying stuff like, God, you're bad or you're dumb. I don't think that that's what he's saying. He's complaining about the troubles. And he's reaching out to God, asking God for help. So I think that's a good thing to do. Sometimes we need to not complain all the time, but if we say, God, this is bad and I need your help, that's the right direction. So when he is so upset that he can't calm down, he can't be comforted, he has trouble, he's complaining, he's overwhelmed, is he punching his brothers and sisters in his house?
No.
I'm going to draw a punching here. Is this what he's doing?
No.
No. He is not, I'm putting a big X there. He's not complaining and fighting at home. He's complaining and sending it up to God, who's going to give an ear to listen. Does that make sense? So that's good. He's upset, but he's not hurting people with the upset. He's reaching out to God. All right, let's read the next part. You hold my eyes watching. I'm so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with my own heart, and my spirit make diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever? Will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Does his promise fail forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? Did you see all those questions? There's a question mark. And there's a question mark and question mark. He ends this little section with a bunch of questions. So we'll talk about the first part before we get to the questions. All right, you hold my eyes watching. We could even draw arrows from his eyes going up to God, right? He is looking to God for help. I'm so troubled I can't speak. That's a kind of a funny thing because he's also crying out to God, but I guess it's just so upsetting. Sometimes he can speak and sometimes he can't speak. Maybe that's what's going on. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. What does that mean? What does it mean to consider the old days, the days of old?
Maybe like consider when Jesus existed.
Well, Asaph was born before Jesus, but you're on the right track.
Maybe he was kind of considering, he was remembering when God helped him out of Egypt.
I think that's a good one. That's right.
I think he was considering all the miracles.
Okay, and the
all
miracles?
the preaching and how he wished that God would be good to him.
I think you guys are exactly right. I think you're exactly right. So here he is, and he is upset, and he is crying up to God for help. And his eyes are glued on God, and he's so upset that he can't even speak anymore, right? And so what does he do? He starts to remember the days of old. And so basically the way I think about it is he starts remembering Bible stories. So I'm going to draw the big like memory thing. And Bella, I think it was you talked about leaving Egypt. So I'm just going to draw the little map of Egypt that we do. There's the Nile River, and then the Red Sea, and then the Dead Sea, the Sea of Galilee. And he's remembering when they left Egypt.
I'm just drawing pyramids and sand.
There's also sorts of miracles and things that happened. There's the plagues. I don't know. Oh, maybe there's a time when God helped the Israelites win a mighty battle. So I'll draw a sword and then I'll draw a broken sword, right? So that the Israelites won the battle. And you can say, look, they broke the bad guy's sword. Ka-ching, ka-ching. And so this is what he's remembering. He's remembering God's power. I think that's what he means. We would say for consider the ancient days of old or the ancient times, it's like remembering the Bible stories, right? Why would he remember the Bible stories?
To calm himself down.
To calm himself down.
Like giving himself hope.
To give himself hope.
Knowing that they had made it so far safely and with God's help, he would be okay.
And so what does he do? He remembers Bible stories. Holy Bible. Right? He starts to remember these stories, and it helps him. Okay? That's an important lesson that Asaph does. He talks about this in more than one psalm. More than one psalm, he does this. And it's the kind of Bible stories that kids learn in their Bible classes all the time. Does Asaph sound like a child or an adult?
An adult.
He's an adult. He's an adult.
Maybe remembering his childhood.
He's maybe remembering his childhood, but he is remembering the stories that you guys know. The stories that you know, even if you're kids. Those are the stories that helped Asaph and help adults today and help you today. Okay. And so one of the things he remembers in the past, did God help them win? Yes. What's going on now? Does the Lord cast off forever? Does it sound good to be cast off by God?
No.
No. So I'll put that in red. Will he be favorable no more? Does that sound good?
No.
No. Favorable no more. That means he doesn't like us anymore. Is his mercy clean gone forever? Is that good or bad?
Bad.
His mercy is gone? Does his promise fail forevermore? Good or bad?
Bad.
Bad. A promise fail. Has God forgotten to be gracious? Good or bad? Ugh. Forgotten to be gracious. Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? If you have loving, tender mercies and you block tender mercy, what are you going to be? Hard, ugly. Is that good or bad?
Bad.
It's awful. That sounds awful. Shut up the tender mercies. Okay, so what does life sound like to Asaph right now?
Really bad.
It feels like, where is God? Right? He's asking, where is God? Did he cast us away? Is his mercy gone? Are his promises gone? Is his graciousness gone? This is like love. Is his love gone? Where is God? Does this sound like a happy time?
No.
No. So here's a question. Are you allowed to ask that question of God? Where are you?
Well, in heaven, but he's also with you.
But what if it feels like he's not here with you today? Can you imagine that feeling? Have you ever felt angry and sad and scared and lonely and upset and everything all at once? That's kind of maybe what it feels like. Where is God? I think that's how Asaph feels. Now, when people feel that way, there are usually two things that people do. They either say, I'm going to try to find God. I don't know where he is. I need him. I'm going to find God. And then there's the other reaction, which is the opposite.
Definitely not going to find God.
And people run away from God then.
Like, I'm never going to find him. I mean, and then they keep on looking.
Mhm.
That's kind of good. And then there's another reaction.
But
being angry at everyone you see.
So can you imagine this? Does it sound like Asaph might get angry and run away from God? It could. It sounds like it could. Let's see what happens. I said, this is my infirmity. This is my feeling sick, right? An infirmity. But I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. What does it mean, the right hand? In the book of Psalms, is a right hand something big, or is it strong?
Strong because Jesus sat on the right hand of God.
Yeah, Jesus sat on the right hand of God. That's a good connection. So he is going to remember not just that God has a right hand. No, the strength. I will make mention of the deeds of the Lord. What are the deeds of the Lord?
Helping good.
Things like the power, things like the stories in the Bible. I will remember thy wonders of old. I should do a happy color. Deeds of the Lord.
Kind of like the flood.
The wonders, the flood.
Jesus coming and all his miracles, the battles.
I will meditate upon all thy work. All thy work. Oh, my phone's making noise. And I will muse on thy doings. These are all just different words for the same thing. What God does. Your way, O God, is in the sanctuary. And who is a great God like unto God? That's a good question. God, is God powerful? Idols. Are idols powerful?
No. They're just a piece of gold or
Nope.
rock.
So we've done this before. Like you can draw a chair, and we have God sitting on the throne, right? And God has all this power and majesty, and I'm going to do power and majesty in purple, right? Power and majesty. And then you know what's over here?
What?
Little wooden idol.
It's kind of cute. Yeah, it's
But
actually
the idols can't do anything. Who is a great God like unto God? Does that make sense? God, we studied this in the book of Revelation. God has power and might, and he can answer and he can do. And the only thing an idol can do is kind of look there cute. It can't do anything. Who is a God like unto God? Asaph says. You are the God that does wonders. Has an idol ever done anything?
No, just
It
be
just stands there.
something.
You have made known your strength among the peoples. You have with your arm redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. So he was crying out and he was upset. Where is God? And he was infirm. And so what did he do? He remembered the deeds and the wonders and the works and the doings of God. And he knows that God has strength. And now he's going to describe one. See if you can figure out what it is. The waters saw thee, O God. The waters saw thee, and they were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The skies sent out a sound. Your arrows also went abroad. The voice of your thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lightened the world. The earth trembled and shook. Your way was in the sea, and your paths in the great waters, and your footsteps were not known. You led forth your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron.
I think it's either the flood or them going to the promised land.
I think it's the promised land. What are the two names at the very end? Moses and Aaron. Were Moses and Aaron in the flood?
No.
No.
I think it's both of them mixed together because of the water
No.
connecting to both Bible stories.
Okay, so you think it's a mixture of the flood story and the Exodus story?
Yeah.
I think that that's a pretty good description because you know what? It sounds like he's telling the Exodus story, but using flood words, right? When God did the Exodus story and parted the waters of the Red Sea, did he use lightning?
No.
Well, we don't know about lightning, but Asaph includes lightning in this one. So now we have to draw the work and the power of God, okay? And so what we have here is you led your people like a flock. And so you can draw lots of people, right? And they're all going to go through the path that he made. And where did he make this path? In the sea. Your way or your path was in the sea. Have you ever made a path? And have you ever made a path in the sea? I'm gonna draw the waters kind of curving back. Right? And so here's the waves, and the waves are coming. Like, how do you make a path in the sea? You don't make a path in the sea. That's impossible. Well, okay. No, apparently it's not impossible because God was able to do it, right? So I'm going to draw the path in the sea. Here's the waters. I don't think there was grass down there, right? So I'll just kind of draw like sandy bottom.
I'm just drawing dirt.
So there they go through. But there's also some other things, all right? The water was afraid, which is very, very funny. God is so powerful that water got afraid of him. So you can draw scared water faces.
I'm drawing a tall wall of water with a scared face.
Yep. And so here we go. There's some scared water faces. What else? The water was afraid. Oh, the skies sent out a sound and your arrows went abroad, thunder and the whirlwind lightnings. So we can draw big clouds piling up. And then there's another cloud there. You don't have to make scary sounds, but I like to do when I'm drawing. And then you can draw like shadowy dark clouds. Ooh. These aren't big white fluffy clouds. These are big shadowy scary clouds. And there's lightnings coming out. Again, I don't know if you guys make sound effects when you draw, but I like to.
I do too, actually.
Here we go. And there's lightning. Of course, I don't think the lightnings would hurt the people, but it makes for the picture look really, really cool. And so here is Asaph. Asaph is, I don't know what he's living through. In some of the Psalms, it makes it sound like he was dealing maybe with the captivity and some things like that. And if he's dealing with the captivity, can you imagine that he wants God to save him and his friends from the captivity? And so maybe that's why he is remembering the Exodus story. And that God did lead his people like a flock. In fact, I'll even draw a sheep to say it's like people, they're like a sheep. And so at the beginning of the psalm, he is full of fear. What is full of fear at the end of the psalm? The waters, and maybe the enemies. All right, you guys finish drawing while I read through it one more time, okay? Then you can ask me any questions at the end. I will cry unto God with my voice, even to God with my voice, and he will give ear unto me. In the day of my trouble, I sought the Lord. My hand was stretched out in the night and slacked not. My soul refused to be comforted. I remember God, and I am disquieted. I complain, and my spirit is overwhelmed. You hold my eyes watching. I am so troubled that I cannot speak. I have considered the days of old, the years of ancient times. I call to remembrance my song in the night. I commune with mine own heart, and my spirit made diligent search. Will the Lord cast off forever, and will he be favorable no more? Is his mercy clean gone forever? Does his promise fail forevermore? Has God forgotten to be gracious? Has he in anger shut up his tender mercies? I said, this is my infirmity, but I will remember the years of the right hand of the Most High. I will make mention of the deeds of the Lord, for I will remember thy wonders of old. I will also meditate upon all thy work and muse on thy doings. Thy way, O God, is in the sanctuary. Who is a great God like unto God? You are the God that does wonders. You have made known your strength among the peoples. You have with your right arm redeemed your people, the sons of Jacob and Joseph. The waters saw thee and were, O God, the waters saw thee and they were afraid. The depths also trembled. The clouds poured out water. The skies sent out a sound. Your arrows also went abroad. The voice of thy thunder was in the whirlwind. The lightnings lightened the world. The earth trembled and shook. Thy way was in the sea, thy paths in the great waters, and thy footsteps were not known. You led your people like a flock by the hand of Moses and Aaron. All right. Well, that's one of my favorite Psalms by one of my favorite guys, Mr. Asaph, who is a fireball. And he just loves loud, exciting, emotional words in his Psalms. So do you guys have any questions about that Psalm, or did it make you think of anything you wanted to say or share?
Mr. Dan.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something I wanted. Maybe he couldn't speak, but he prayed to God in his head or just thought.
That's a good one. I didn't think of that. Maybe he started his prayer aloud and then he did it in his heart, in his mind. That's a good idea. Have you guys ever prayed that way, quietly in your own mind?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
I have.
Good. That's good. Yes, Alice?
Another thing might have been like he was thinking so much that he couldn't speak. Like he was just thinking it in his mind, like being so sad in his mind that he couldn't speak.
That can be,
So-
because he's got a lot on his mind and in his heart, doesn't he?
So it might have been that, like he had done it so much he couldn't even speak, like he forgot how to for a while.
Yeah. Have you ever been so angry or so sad it was hard to talk?
Yes.
I have. Yep. I'm not saying please feel angry. I'm not saying that at all. I am saying, can you tell that in this psalm an adult was feeling that way too? Can you see that? This is the way that we get sometimes. It's not good. It doesn't feel good. We shouldn't try. Ooh, I hope I get so sad that I get everybody angry. No, no. But if we get these kinds of feelings, if it gets big, if it gets out of our control, that happens sometimes, doesn't it? Any other thoughts before we close? All right. Well, I will let you go. Let me get this button here, and I'll see you later. Goodbye, guys.